The Christmas tree.
Welcome to Same Cast, Different Day podcast. I am Marta Roland.
And I am Crystal B. And we actually had some beverages already tonight, so we're having a good time.
Woo!
We're gonna have a good time now, everyone.
Let's have a good time, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited for this episode just because I'm back with all of you again. We're sticking to our 2 episodes a week, and damn it, we done it.
We're doing it. We're gonna get her done. We're gonna do it. We will do it. We're gonna help people.
So, um, not to be a Debbie Downer,
Oh,
but people, if your friend is having a bit of a crisis, a mental crisis, and they reach out to you, please do not give a blind answer or don't bother, or at least check in on them. Don't just ignore giving them a blind answer. They don't hear from you. Make sure you at least check on them. I'm just going to leave it at that.
you know what? I'll tell you what. There was a gentleman, a good friend of mine, that actually said it, texted me. He texted me and said he was having a rough day. Said I'm having a bad mental health day. And I'll tell you what. You know what? As a good friend that I am, I was, because that sounds bad. That just sounds so bad. Well, was like he's gone. I'm sorry, he's gone now. But no, so you know what? I reached out to him and I had some like we had a few, we had a few phone conversations because sometimes, and I will even admit this, there's been times where I probably should have reached out to Martel. I've been in some dark places myself, even before we're looking at surgery now coming up for me. But been in some dark, deep, dark places that just mentally. We talked about this in May. No one should ever be there. Please don't. You know, please don't make the decision that it's better that you're not around because it's just the easy way to go. Please. If you don't have anybody, by all means, there are 211, I believe, is the states around the U.S. or stateside where you can actually get a hold of someone and talk to them. Just talk.
Yeah.
If you don't have any
There
friends,
are resources out there available if you do need it. Um, a great list, a great episode to listen to if you are in I guess like because I listened to this episode and it kind of gave me some relief. It's the New Day podcast. That's their wrestlers, but they had on an actual like a psychiatrist who worked with the WWE superstars, and she was on there talking and explaining stuff, and she was talking about keeping your toolbox, your tools clean to be able to, to help with your mental health awareness and the tools that they provided, and then the things that they provided and talked about, and it made a lot of stuff make more sense of how, don't be afraid to reach out, or some she one thing she had said, it was, I wish a lot of people would come to me and say, hey, I need a mental health check before I get to that point where I do want to kill myself or something like that. um so don't be afraid to reach out. And if you're feeling like you're in that dark place and you feel like you're going into that dark place, go to a psychiatrist and be like, hey, I need this help. Some of these places you can go to, like churches, and get help. Churches will have a psychiatrist, or have access to, they know someone who is a psychiatrist and who can get you free help. There are mental health facilities that offer free that will give you free help when it comes to needing to talk to someone. um, One thing she mentioned, and that the people say, like, a lot of these celebrities have good, psychiatrists because they have good insurance, and that is not true. Even though you do have good insurance, she stated that insurance, when it comes to mental health, only pays for 7% of what you need. So anything else outside of that 7%, you're paying out of pocket. But there are some psychiatrists out there, or there are people out there who are willing to do it for free.
mhm.
So there are resources out there, and if you're feeling like you're in a dark place or you need the help, please go out and seek that help out. And you can always call, like you said, I know the local number here is 211. There are suicide prevention hotlines that you can call. One thing that I like, I can't give my workplace credit for is that we have a service that's available to us. It's almost like a crisis line that we can call 24 hours a day if we're in some type of mental health crisis. So don't be afraid to reach out.
Please don't. We don't want any of our listeners, any of your family members, friends, even neighbors, people you may not even know. If you see someone having a really rough time, make a suggestion.
And the
Tell
thing,
them to
if you
call.
and then they say if you're friends with somebody, it's okay to put your like they say, it's okay if you have that relationship with that person. It's okay to take charge of that relationship, or you know, what they say, put your relationship on the line for the sake of their help.
Hmm.
It's okay to do that. They're not saying go up to a complete stranger like, hey, you need some help, and then just start offering all this information. Like, no, you don't do that. You go, just you go a whole different route with that. You just ask them, hey, if you okay, and probably talk, build a bond with them. Then maybe go from there. But if it's a complete stranger, I wouldn't just say like, hey, I think you should go see somebody for help. Don't do that, because then you might cause that person to go over the edge and do something that nobody wants them to do.
We would never want anyone to be injured or hurt or damaged in any certain way at all. By all means, um, we if even as a group that Martel and I are in, by all means, we have our mental health days. I do too. Martel does too. We have them. Um, you know, I'm gonna probably have a lot more mental health days after my surgery because everything's gonna be different to me. I have to have someone to take care of me and help me do
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And when you're used to being independent for a long period of time, and all of a sudden you get to that point where you, de- depend on what you do and where you go, sometimes in life you just have to take it and be like, you know what? Someone else is gonna have to help me. I'm gonna have to be okay with that person, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay. I know there's gonna be times, by all means. My therapist, by all means, is always a phone call away. I can always make an appointment, even if it's an emergency situation. I can always get through to her. There'll be steps where I gotta literally, not just my like, not just my physical therapy and my doc's appointments, but there'll be my mental therapy my mental health checks I'm gonna have to do once a month for the next 3 to 6 months after surgery. And this is gonna be a normal thing in my life until I can get myself reoriented with everything going on. So it'll take
Yeah.
time. It's not a
It takes
but
time.
yeah, it does. It's and
Uh,
it's
One thing I had mentioned with Crystal is that I said I wish workplaces will allow you to have mental health days, or like it's like, or a time where you can just go to, hey, we call like, hey, I need a day to get myself in check, or I need a week off to get myself in check without any repercussions being done. And there are some people who I talked to about this. It's like, oh, people try to take advantage of it. Like, no, like you need to have a legit reason. Would they need you need to have proof that, hey, I did this and that, or I went to go see this person. To know just something to show that, hey, I was really doing these necessary steps to get my mental health back in check. And some people say it all is patient confidentiality and all that stuff. Like, you don't have to tell them what you did, what you guys talked about, what was going on. None of it has to be said. Just as long as you provide something from a physician or a psychiatrist saying, hey, this person, yes, did come to me for for a mental health assessment. That's
yep.
it.
And that, to me, I don't know why. Um, now I don't know if Canada still has it, but I believe in Canada, you can actually take off, like, I believe up to a week
Mm-hmm.
for mental health. Like, you can just like disconnect from work because it just works too much, and you just need to. And again, our Canadian friends, if please correct me if I'm wrong again, but I remember I worked for a Canadian company once where they can literally take off up to a month off.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can be like it could just be something as simple as grieving, and like you would be like, hey, I need to take off a week to get my mental health back in check. Like, I just buried my mom, my sister, cousin, best friend, or somebody who's very close to me, and I'm having this feeling of like I'm trying to figure out what to do with myself now that they're not here. And There was this wrestler, and I know this is a very touchy topic for some people, but there was this wrestler. He was best friends with Eddie Guerrero, and after Eddie Guerrero passed away, he kind of distanced himself. He wasn't talking too much of the superstars in the locker room. Um, that he was found like going up into like Eddie Guerrero's gym or laying in a bed where him and his wife slept, and was laying in Eddie's spot, crying and stuff. So he just went down this whole downward path, privately, and then to the point where he snapped and he killed his son and his wife and himself over a period of a weekend.
Mm.
And they said, due to him having multiple concussions and brain damage, that could have triggered, that, but that it could have triggered it for the events to happen because his brain was so damaged, like he probably wasn't in his right mind when he made those decisions. We'll never know what was going through his mind. But if his best friend Eddie Guerrero was still alive, there's a good chance that he would be alive and his wife and his son would still be alive to this day. So, like I said, like it can be something so small that can cause a whole downward spiral. And I feel like workplaces do need to allow people to take time off for those mental checks. Now, granted, if he would have just went to the company at that time and be like, "Hey, I need some time off," they would have gave it to him. But instead, he always felt like, "I have to work. I have to be out there and work because if I'm not working, somebody else can take my spot and I'm going to be replaced and blah blah blah." So he kept working instead of taking time off to deal with the issues that was going on. So we have to learn how to basically shut ourselves off from the world and take time for ourselves and rekindle ourselves, get ourselves back together, hit that refresh button on, what's going on. And that's why I really want to talk about this on this episode because, like I said, we really have to get get this message out here that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to, it's okay that you're going through whatever you're going through, but don't be afraid to seek help.
Never, please, by all means, please. I mean, we're not just telling you this. We're asking you to please, do your mental health checks. And if you do need help, the 211 and any local, providers we've talked about, someone can help you out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if
And
you
then
don't have any friends in the area, you're new to where you live. Maybe you're from another country, okay, and you just moved here. And you have you're coming a legal citizen. Sometimes it's hard, and that's okay. But you know what though? You may make a friend with a neighbor or someone else, you work with maybe, but try to reach out to people that actually, there's people actually that do care. They do.
yeah, and then if you if you find yourself by yourself, you can always do like deep breathing and meditation to try to bring that stress level down because it's almost like it's like this part of she's explained like there's this part of your brain that where you're having all these issues and problems going on and it's like your brain sends the signal to panic and to that panic can cause like a heart attack or whatever. It basically sends your brain into a panic. It's the same thing as if a dog was chasing you and your brain is sending that signal to you to panic and run and do all these other things. And to stop that from happening, you need to take them breathe to deep breaths. Take your time, take a deep breath. Because when you do that, it's telling your brain, it's sending signals also to your brain to, hey, you can relax. So take a deep breath, do some meditations. I find myself at work, even if it's not like a mental health issue, and I'm just like I'm stressed out and I have a migraine, I would literally go in the bathroom and I would go find a meditation that I would use on YouTube, put my earbuds in, and I would cut myself off from work while I'm there and literally meditate to bring my stress level down. And if you have to do that, then so be it. Do it. Because at the end of the day, you're replaceable there and your mental health is more important.
But yeah, mental health is a big deal. It is. I mean, I talked about it earlier in season 3. By all means, make sure you do your checks. There are mental health checks that you can do every single day when you get up. You know, what are things you do on a daily basis? Whatever your routines are. If it's, did you get up today? Did you drink some fluids? You know, juice or soda or coffee or whatever, tea or something like that. Um, did you eat some food?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know what was going on for the day? Did you have some kind of idea what you're going to do for the day? And sometimes you just needed. Sometimes at work, I have days where I deal with people sometimes, and in management, it drives me nuts. Sometimes I need, even though I go from one area to another, sometimes I need to sit in my vehicle and I just need to close my eyes and just
Mm-hmm.
relax and know it's going to be okay. Okay. And I can walk back in and we can get it done.
Yep.
And
And
okay.
I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I have moments where I'm just sad for some reason. Like I'm just uncontrollably sad. Like I'm a little bit tipsy, y'all. Sorry, but I just had these moments where I just feel down and I'm sad. And I learned that which triggers it is just sometimes when I feel like I'm not in control of what's going on in my life. And like I said, like when you're trying to do things to make changes in your life and you just feel like you don't have no control of your life at that point. And I figured that's one of the things that triggered it. And there's just some moments where I just feel like I just get so sad to the point where I don't know what to do with myself. I like some people like, oh, you can just tell me. Like it's not something very easy to talk about because sometimes like I can be sad and like I'll be like I don't really know why I'm sad sometimes, but sometimes I just feel sad. And then it's like, well, life still goes on. So now I've been finding myself like I'm on autopilot, like I'm just going through life and not really here. And I've been finding moments where I'm like that, and I'm just going and going and going. I don't really know I'm here basically, and so it's like at one moment, my birth name is Anthony, of course. And there are moments where I'm Anthony, he's sad and really don't have no control or anything. But then like when we do the podcast, I could be in one of those zones where I'm feeling sad and I'm depressed and I'm down. I'm trying to figure out how to get out this bubble. But when we do the podcast, like no, I gotta change into Martel Roland and be this happy person. And it's a lot to juggle sometimes, but it's something that I've learned to deal with and like now I feel like I'm able to talk about it now finally. So like I said, people don't be afraid to reach out. Like I said, I'm happy I'm able to tell you about this. I have kept this secret for so long. Like this is something that I've have secretly battled for years, where I just be finding moments where I'm just depressed and sad for I don't know what reason. And here it is, probably about 12 years later, and I'm finally able to talk about it.
You know what? And that's the first step. Let's talk about, I mean, I've dragged my feet for 20 plus years, being the wrong person, just trying to please everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
When it didn't do nothing for me except make me worse and just keep on going downward. Instead of going straight across or going forward, just kept on going down.
Yeah.
You're walking down these stairs that just never end.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it feels like. So it's crazy because I'm like everybody always says like, oh, my day is so much better when you're around. Or so like it just doesn't seem so much better when you're around. But I'm like, geez, but then when I need people around me to make me feel better or whatever, like it felt like I didn't have that. And that's like something I wish I had. Like, geez, I wish people would, and I had that person who I can just be like, hey, come over, whatever, blah blah blah, and they're there, and it's to make me happy. But it'd be like most of the time I'm by myself, and I spend a lot of time by myself. Like I work in a place where I'm around people all the time, so once I'm not in that place, I spend a lot of time by myself, and I've gotten used to that, and it's just like, what do I do now?
Well, I guess you deal with me once in a while, even though we are about an hour apart. But no, you don't deal with me. No, no, no. He's just kidding. I'm kidding. You know what? To me,
I get what you mean though. Like you're somebody that I can lean on. It's like I said, when I was feeling when I was, I think, what was that, Tuesday? Tuesday was that Tuesday or Wednesday? No, Wednesday.
uh, no,
Yesterday.
yesterday, yeah. Hmm.
Yesterday was one of those moments where I was just like, oh my God, this is bad. And that's when I had reached out to Crystal, like, it's bad at this point. Like I said, I have never gotten to that point where I feel like I don't want to be here or I don't want to live. I have never gotten to that point where I felt suicidal whatsoever. It was just the point. I just realized I get in these moments where I'm just so depressed and down and don't know why. But yet, since I'm such on autopilot, I just get up and go, and I come to the conclusion and realize that I need to take some time, probably a weekend or take a week off from work. I don't know when, but take some time off to do a mental health, check on myself.
I mean, maybe he'll come and babysit me. No, I'm just kidding. That's not babysitting. I'm just kidding. It'd be caregiver. But I mean, whatever. I mean, if that means you gotta need to leave where you live and just go away for a little while, just take a few days and this and that. By all means. You know what? To me, listen to this. As Crystal B, I will tell you right now. I am so blessed that this gentleman here that on the Zoom is actually above me. Okay, this gentleman is willing to get on an aeroplane, as he calls it. It's say airplane,
Yeah, the aeroplane.
aeroplane. He's willing to get on this on a piece of machinery, okay, and fly to see me, not to see me, actually to stay with me, care for me, okay, which he's never done before. Again, he's
Lord
probably helped.
knows I don't like aeroplanes.
He's probably helped out elders in his family before, but just think, he's going to take care of me, and then he's the same gentleman that's going to get me back on this plane, back here, then for some reason drive me all the way back to my house and then go back home. I mean, by all means, God bless you. You'll be on for 4 or 5 hours. Holy shit. I hope you take a nap on the plane on the way back. I hope. I hope.
Uh, I don't know. I'm kind of nosy, so it's hard for me to sleep during the day.
Or, or, or what it'll be is we'll be watching live TV and we'll probably watching some Christmas thing because it'll be Novemberish by the time we get back on the plane. So we
We
might
can
have
we can watch a Mariah Carey Christmas special.
here, see, and I always try to make sure um, moving forward, Martel and I made this agreement that not just because we are we both host a podcast, but we make sure we do a check on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we made this agreement. I've known Martel for probably over 2 years now. We're probably at year two.
Yeah.
Probably already. We're already hit that mark somewhere in the anniversary. Again, I'll have to go back and look at the numbers, but you know what? 2 years. 2 years, man. 2 years. Seriously. You know what? Let's talk. We're talking mental health, but let's talk about something positive. On a mental health check, we've had 2 years, buddy. 2 years. I can't put my fingers up there.
I'll
Big two.
drink to that.
You know what? I think that is freaking awesome. I I will tell you one thing. Now, regardlessly of people and wherever they are in life and whoever they're dating, this and that, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Here's a mental health check before like June, okay? End of June, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start from Crystal B. As I always say, story time on TikTok or whatever else. Let's tell you a quick little story. And Martel knows this one very well because he'll be laughing or giggling or get a bang out of me. Him and his partner at the time, okay, came all the way up here to go to a little pride fest, okay. Do you understand that I was like chauffeured around like a princess, okay, in a brand new car, okay,
Oh
by
my,
all means,
oh my
okay,
God.
and I know it's embarrassing, but just think about this. I was having some bad mental health, like I wasn't in a good place really before June. I was in some bad spots. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
jumped into podcasting. I enjoy doing it. My voice isn't always the best all the time. By all means, people really don't care. They still listen. They're not going to judge you my voice. the best thing that happened is from that day forward, I felt like I sealed a deal with Martel. Like I was like, you know what? If he needs me, I'm here for him. You know. And
Oh,
and Martel told me, Crystal, you need a check up here, or just need to talk. Here's my number. You get a hold of me, and do not do anything dumb. This is what he told me. We
mm-hmm.
were we were sitting at this Pride Fest on this little bench. Okay, he was partner and it was him, and then I was sitting right next to him, and he told me, Crystal, none of this. You're this much closer to getting that surgery, and then guess what? You're legal, and then you can do whatever you want because now you're a legal, female and this and that. I said, you know what? You that statement right there. First of all, going to the Pride thing, chauffeur me around. We had a lot of fun, even though it was a short amount of time. And I gotta say, I was treated so well in my life. Okay, like I've never been treated that. I may say my parents do treat me good, here and there.
And that was my first time in that part of the state too.
And I was so blessed. And I'm gonna tell you what, my mental health went from like way down to like I was walking down these stairs, really down in some deep areas. I went there, and yes, we all have our days. We all have our days. It's okay. But sir, you made my day,
Yay!
and that video is literally saved on my phone. So if I ever have a mental health check day, I just go listen to it.
Wait, what video? You know I be drinking. I did a video that day. Oh my
So
god, I gotta stop
so
drinking.
so no. So you just didn't do a video between you and I. You just said his normal words is the power of the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
so then he tagged me in it because I was with him. He tagged me in it. So I was like, yep. That's
that.
why I had to write a little note on the TikTok and tell everybody that So I was there with him. Yes, I was with him and his partner. And every single time that I need to go and do a mental health check, I will go for a drive. And like I said, I don't kind of go alone, but I will go for a drive and I'll go right on by that spot.
Yeah, and I keep telling people it's great to have people around who would talk that you can talk to, and they don't judge you. You can just talk. Like they
Mhm.
really don't have to say much. Just talk,
That's
because
it.
sometimes just getting what you're thinking off of your heart and in your mind
Mhm.
can do so much for you.
And I gotta be safe. You're awesome. You're awesome, dude, in so many ways. Like I'm blessed. I mean, I might talk about him too much. I might kind of wish he was straight in some ways. I may say that sometimes. Again, not talking about dating, but because I've had a lot of my fair share of crash and burn dates. By all means,
I
I
think
don't know.
we've all had those.
But just know that by all means, sometimes it takes that one person that you may not interact with a lot to maybe be like, hey, reach out to them because that person or people could be a key to your mental health from today and maybe tomorrow, maybe today or tomorrow or sometime soon moving forward. So
Yeah.
my mental health person is right there. His name's Martel Rowland, right there. That's That's right there. He will keep me in
Yeah.
check. He will tell me if I'm in a bad spot. Nope, I'm. That's it. I'm coming up to get you. We're going for a ride.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to tell somebody you're struggling, because for a long time within my friend circle, I felt like I was always have to be the one who was like, cheerful and happy, cheering people up, being that rock for people, being a shoulder that they can lean on, and all them other kind of stuff. And I think one day I was having a bad day, and I actually called Tina Marie one day, and she stayed on the phone with me for like 2 to 3 hours, and it made such a big difference. And that just showed, like, because at first I'd be like, I don't know if she will want to hear what was going on, although we've been friends for like almost a decade now. And it'd be like, I don't know if she wants to hear my issues with everything that she got going on. And that day made me realize, like, hey, when I am having a bad day, like, I do got this circle of people that I can trust. Like, sometimes Tina Marie is at work during the day. It's like, oh, I know Crystal will get off at this time of day, so I can talk to Crystal. Or, Crystal know, hey, Martell's available at 3:30. So after 3:30, I can call Martell and we can talk about it. Or if he got time to text at work, we can text about it.
And
And
yeah, you're
and
sorry. Go
it
ahead.
just I'm just saying, like, it's just nice to know that I have that circle where I can feel comfortable to talk to somebody when I don't think she knew at that moment that I was kind of having like this whole mental distress or whatever.
Mhm.
But her being a nurse, she probably knew. And like I said, like, and at that moment, I was just like, it's just nice to know that you have that circle.
It's true. It's true. And to me, I know I've kind of cut some people off, and we've had some words, but I've been letting people come back into my circle and into my life because you know what, I think regardlessly, sometimes people need to learn stuff
Mm-hmm.
before you can bring them back in and explain where your boundaries are. You'd be like, listen, if I need to talk about something, maybe it's something else. Maybe you're available at certain, that person available at nights or whatever. Maybe they work night shift or afternoons or
Mm-hmm.
evening, whatever, where they can maybe they're available at certain times of the day or night. So um, those people are a very good asset. This young man up here is being a huge asset to me, to actually willing to just help me out. I mean, in just so many ways right now. I mean, you know what? Sometimes your mental health, you just don't know. You can never pay people back. But you know what though? This is what I always feel like. I don't know if my grandma would have said this, but I feel like coming from the heart, it'd be like, you know what? You pay somebody back by being a good friend, being there for them.
Mm-hmm.
That it's you can't put a price tag on that.
You
Really, you
can't.
can't. You can't.
Like, you can't put, you right, you like you say, you can't put a price tag on that. Like, um I've been so blessed by my circle, whether it's my friend Mary or Tina or my other friend Keys, as he want to call himself. I've been blessed by my circle, and I'm happy with my circle, especially the fact that
Hey, what happened to me in your circle? Did I get
I
out of
mean,
your circle?
you're in a circle too, of course. Like, I already mentioned you earlier
I
already.
know you did. I know. I didn't get
But
what I
it's
said.
just so nice to have, this circle. Like, I've known Mary now since 2000, and I think we met in 2009.
Oh, wow.
And we are, it's almost like, oh my gosh, she's like the sister I never really wanted, to be honest. But anyway, but it's I've been grateful to have that relationship with her, because I know if I need to talk to her about something, I can call her and be like, hey, this is something I need to talk to you about, this and that. Just like we've had so many conversations about her, people she's dated in the past. And and I know, and I just know that I have her when I need her, along with Tina and you and my inner circle. And it's crazy because I tell people, like, my circle is very, very small. Like, I only let so many people into that circle. Like, my circle is so small, it's probably less than 6 people. I
You
mean,
know
it's
what?
only about 6 people probably. And I am happy with that. And like I said on another podcast episode, like Tyler Perry said, like, sometimes you have them people who are like branches and leaves in your life where they just break off or fall off and they leave out of your life. But you find those people who are the roots of the tree. Those are the people that you keep. Those are the people that are going to help you grow. Those are the people who are going to help you, become a better person. And and that circle that I have now, that people I have within my circle, are the ones who are supportive of me. Like, a lot of them know that I'm trying to go through the career change. They were helping me trying to go through the career change and everything. And next I had got down because a little along the way it didn't really go my way, but at the same time they're still helping me and they're supporting me, and they want to see me do better, and they want to see me be something. And and I'm so grateful to have the company of people who are willing to want to watch me grow and become something and want me to become something in life. because one of the things that I've battled so much in over the last couple of years is trying to figure out what is my purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Because I feel like everybody was put on this earth for a certain event or moment to happen. Like I said, like Dr. King was probably put here to start the revolution and to die to create what we know as the how we can live as whites and blacks can get married and all this kind of stuff, and segregation ended. Like he was put here on this earth to be sacrificed basically for the sake of free for the freedom of being able to live how we live today. And I just feel like people are put on earth for those for those moments. And over time, I've just been trying to figure out like what is my moment, like what is my reason, what is the effect that I'm supposed to have on somebody in life right now or going forward. Like, because I feel like I don't know, I don't say like once you had your moment, you died. I don't want to say that. It's just like once you have your moment, um, if like some people their moment was to die, but if you have some people have their moment where they have their moment and then they continue to live on to spread the message or of unity and health or whatever it is that was their meaning in life to get to that point where they like I understand my message now or what is my effect or what it is I'm supposed to do.
And you know what? Keeping your circle small. You know what a guy told me?
Excuse me.
Actually, and excuse you. And he always, said to, make your mental health checks, this and that. This is the same person that actually took his life. Was a coworker of mine.
Wow.
And so he told me, his name is Jeff. He told me, he said, listen, Crystal, I'm going to tell you one thing. Keep your circle small. Keep those friends that are close to you as close as possible. Like almost like they're like the circle that are all hugging all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have a large group of friends because you know what? Just like Tyler Perry said, and that's true. A lot of them will just branch off and they'll just that's it.
Yeah, you don't want to keep those people in your life that's toxic and weighing you down.
And get rid of those people. Get people that are actually going to support you. If like myself, I'm transgender. I got a small group of people. Okay, I'm gonna say I got you, Martel, and like 3 ladies. Okay, so 4 people. All right, those are my support people. Okay, at any time I need them.
Mm-hmm.
We all have phone numbers. We all interact well all the time. I try to interact with Martel. Granted, we all have lives and this and that, but Martel and I interact at least once, twice a week. We have to. Not
It's
just for the
more
podcast.
than that.
Oh, do we? Okay, it is a
It's
little more.
way more than once or twice a week. Come on.
Okay, all right. So maybe it's like every other day or every
I
other
am
day.
appalled at this point. At this point, you almost made me have to clutch my pearls.
Oh, jeez.
Or is it clench? Clench.
Clinch.
I don't
Right
know,
here.
people.
Yes. Clinch your pearls right here, buddy. Right here. Right there. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you know what? It's good to have those people because then you can talk about things. I mean, I wouldn't be going off to surgery if I didn't have any friends. I probably could, but I have to do it all by myself. Now, have I made more friends in other places where I'm going to be having surgery? I have.
I think your surgery is going to go a lot smoother because you have that support group now.
And it's true because now it's like, you know what? People are like, are you scared? Are you nervous? Yes, I'm a little nervous, scared. I am. But I can tell you what, I got my little circle. Okay, they're all good. They're all gonna help me out. Get things for me, take care of me. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are gonna help me out. So you know what? I got my little group. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have a few more people that are outside that little circle that if I need to call on, if I need help with something, I can get a hold of them and they will come help.
Oh, it's good to have a little small circle outside of your small circle.
So
That is
you,
a
you know,
definitely need. You need those people also.
so it's good to have a few extra people just in case. You got your little circle, and then just maybe little branches on the outside of that circle, or little
Mm-hmm.
like little little stick people, I guess, whatever you want to call them, little, whatever they are. And
like
that's good.
like the bark of the tree or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they got those little spots hanging out there, like here, there's a circle, and then you got one sticking out. You know, but it's good to have those people. At least I'm going to have enough people where eventually, by the time I could start driving again, okay? Now, I'm not going to be driving long distances, by all means, especially when it's going to be dead of winter. It's going to be really freaking cold.
I can't wait.
You know,
I can't wait.
But I will tell you one thing though. At least next year, well, maybe. I'm trying to talk one of my friends in. If you actually have a Christmas party, sir, I actually might be showing up.
I've been thinking about it. I don't know yet.
No, we won't talk about that on there, but we talk about stuff there. But so there's possibilities that actually I might have one of my girlfriends actually go with me down the middle of town, and I can introduce myself to everybody, which would be awesome to actually, even though I probably will meet a lot of people, before and after surgery, but the good things are happening. They're coming soon. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of good things coming.
Yep. So for the sake of time, because I'm trying to do my best to keep these under an hour, people. So I'm trying to stick to that, because I want to be like you guys spending 2 hours listening to us talk. So we're going to wrap things up. And if you guys want us to continue this conversation about mental health, you can always tweet us on Twitter. For me, it's at Martel Roland, or you can drop a message on the direct.me/Same Cast Different Day podcast.
Correct.
You can drop us a message on there also. So I want to thank you all for listening to this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast. Don't forget to head over to cafepress.com/SCDD podcast to get your official podcast merch. And also, don't forget that you can follow the podcast on Facebook and on Instagram. On Facebook is Same Cast Different Day podcast. On Instagram is Same Cast DFNT podcast. On Gmail, I messed up on gmail.com. Oh my God. On Instagram, if you want to email us to be on the show or whatever, you can email us at scddpodcast@gmail.com. And Crystal B, let them know where they can find you.
All right. So after he got done talking there along the road, don't forget now, please check out the Same Cast Different Day website. It is direct.me/Same Cast Different Day. Again, he told you about Cafe Press. Go get your gear now, because next week Crystal B will be sporting a brand spanking new hat, sporting our logo. Everyone, hopefully it'll come in as fast as I want it to. And good news, everyone. Check me out. You can check me out not on Snapchat anymore, buddy. We're out. We're out.
Staff with old people.
Check me out at Facebook at Crystal B. Please check me out on TikTok, Clapper, and now Instagram. Yeah, actually up into the world at Miss Care Bear WI. So please, by all means, hit me up, send me a message, add me on any one of those devices. Again, Clapper is a newer application. So again, we don't compare our applications. I just want to tell you that we actually are moving to Clapper for some of our lives. So just so you know, everybody, we will try to go back and forth between TikTok and Clapper, but that's where we're at. That's our websites. That's me. Martel, would you like to end it up, please?
So you can find me on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok, and the Clapper at Martel Roland. And this has been Same Cast Different Day podcast. Thank you all for listening to this episode, and we will see you on Thursday.
And have a good one, everybody.